Hiya, it's Claire Spalding and you're watching my branding vlog for My Brand Story. I'm here to help you build a truly authentic business and brand that will connect. Speaking of connecting today, and I'm thinking about things and just my mind is all aflutter. I'm sure you've seen on my Facebook page or my social media, and maybe even if you watch my webinars, I am having a baby. I've kept it a bit secret. I'm 27 weeks this week, so due in a few months, and wow, what a change. It's different. It makes you think about things very, very differently. You start thinking about planning, you start buying baby books. Well, that was a gift. Your bookshelf starts looking a little bit different. And even though you're still yourself, you still start thinking about how you want to be as a mother. You know, what is important to you and how you want to, what sort of role model you want to be and what you want to instill in your children. And so I start thinking about that, and I don't know what I'm having, by the way. I thought I would be adamant about finding out, and I told everybody. You know, I can't believe when they said they were, oh, it's a surprise. You know, oh my God, boring. And I would just switch off. And I couldn't understand it. So I would say, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to be the same. I'm going to find out, you know, we could think of one name, we'll make a plan, da da da. So it got to the point where I went and had the scan and they said, do you want to know? And I didn't. I saw the heartbeat, and for me, it sounds so cliche, and I am not that cliche person because, as you know, I haven't spoken about it at all, but I felt like I owed this conversation to you guys. You know, I realised it didn't really matter. I didn't mind if I was having a girl or a boy. It really didn't bother me as long as it was healthy. And yes, cliche, but really, really true. And, you know, I've had other chances to find out, and I really haven't. I've just had no need. So we have to think of two names now, which is stressful because we're really struggling, and just putting that onto the back of our head. Especially, and also this room, my office is going to change into the baby room as well. So I'm going to find a new place to do my vlogs. Don't worry, the vlogs still continue. I'll get fat, bigger, well, I don't know, can sort of tell. A little bump now. But yeah, I will definitely be doing my vlog somewhere else in the house, so keep posted with that. I have to now start planning this room and what's going to happen with this room. I also have gone off tea. Oh, I cannot believe that I have gone off tea. It is just devastating. I did speak to a woman though, and she said she went off tea as well, and the minute she had the baby, she fell in love with tea again. So I've asked Toby to bring my favourite tea in a flask. That is the number one thing to bring to the hospital because I will be hanging. So today, I've been drinking this lovely tea too, rhubarb and rose iced tea. No caffeine, but still the feeling of tea, and it tastes beautiful. And it's still warm here, so I can have the iced teas. So anyway, that's like a little bit about what's going on with me and my life and where we're at the moment. Brand Story is still going. I'm still doing my webinars. I'm still doing my vlogs. I'm still doing everything, the brand pack. I'm still available. I'm just going to be doing more than one thing and multitasking, but that is a woman's prerogative, isn't it? So, speaking of women in business and just what sort of woman I want to be as a mother and what sort of reflecting on what sort of woman I was in business, I thought it was a really good time to start thinking of telling you about, you know, my experience when I was in the working, like the big corporates. You know my story that I wanted to work in a big corporate. I got myself up to that big corporate level and it was not fulfilled. And then came what I'm doing now. My brand story, helping real people with their business and having that true connection and an authentic connection, which is, I feel, really important and important to me. Not saying everyone's got their own importance. As my best friend always said to me, everyone's got their bottom line and what's important to them. And the key is finding what that is for yourself. What I found out earlier on in life, you know, I went to an all-girls school, so with that came, you know, dealing with women all the time, and women, you would think, are supportive and helpful and want to be the best for each other. But I found in the real world, in the corporate world, it wasn't the same. Your women have become, in my opinion, from my experience of working with women in high corporate and high intensity environments, is that it's made them a little bit jaded and it made them a little bit more like men, but still got this element of women. They don't bring out the best in their side. So, when you're a little pleb at the bottom and you're not a threat to anyone, you're fine. But when you start working your way up the corporate ladder, you start proposing a threat to perhaps that woman that's your boss, and she has worked really hard as well to get to that point and sees you as a threat to take over her role. That I found a lot in the corporate world. I found that a lot more than with men. I found with men, you could have it out, have a conversation, and you knew exactly where you stood. With women, I found that I never knew where I stood, and I never had a nice, clear direction or understanding of what they wanted, or what they actually felt, because they were saying one thing to me and another thing in the back. And I found that really disheartening, because I feel as a person I'm direct and I'm honest, and I like the same in return, because then I know where I stand. And I feel that I'm not sure if it's a chicken or the egg, if it's women living in a corporate world, which is a man's world. It is, and it is getting better. And this is old school. I think I'm seeing things change, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But working in a high intensity corporate, when it is predominantly men on the board or men directors, women are having to find this ballsy element, but they still have a bitchy element as well. And they're not the socialists that we love. I love to be part of a team and make the team better. I believe that you're only as good as your team, and you have to stand out. Whereas these other women that I work with, they really focus on themselves. I'm rambling a little bit. My point was, when I'm reflecting on my time working as a woman with a woman, I prefer working with men, which was a real shame, because I think women are the most supportive they can be, but it's if they're secure. It's like anybody, if they're in a place of insecurity, they're going to act irrationally, and they're not going to support, and they're going to feel threatened. And so, I'm thinking about this, and that's one of, that was probably one of the hardest things for me in the business world, is dealing with politics and dealing with work. It's fine, but dealing with I found that working with females is just really hard work, and I like direct conversations, and I never got that. And I just think that with women, we should stop and we should look at how we want our children to see us, and how we should live as leaders. We are the future. Women are so competent, they're so incredible, and they multitask. And I just see this more with being pregnant, in just doing everything, and there is no ifs or buts. Going into labor, pregnancy, things I know that men let's be honest, couldn't deal with. And we are really, really capable, but it's having the confidence and the security to back ourselves and be open to others and be open to leading by example. So that's a big learning that I've had, and I want to make sure, if I have a boy or a girl, I want to make sure that, especially thinking about women in business, that they are confident in what they do, and they don't live somebody else's path, and they live an authentic themselves, and they don't feel threatened. The only challenge they should ever find is in themselves, and to be better, but not a challenge at anybody else, and focus on their own goal. And as a mother, I want to provide that support and let my children feel that they don't need it, they can do it, and they don't need to worry about anything, and to back themselves. Because then when I came out of the corporate world, it was brilliant. I felt it is changing. There's a lot more small businesses, for whatever reason, because of the accessibility, entrepreneurship, support, everything. But I'm meeting women now that are like me. They didn't like the big corporate. They hated being a mouse in the wheel, and they hated the politics and the challenge of working with women. And now it's this beautiful socialist collaborative space. And I really, really enjoy that. And I really want to encourage my children to be the same, and to not feel that the only way they're going to get ahead is by pushing their way through. You can open up, and you can collaborate, and you can share. And I've talked about this in previous vlogs, but people are changing their attitude and being open and sharing in order to get ahead, because you get ahead as a team and you all succeed. And it's hard. I mean, when you're stuck in a certain culture, to break that. But if you can start from the beginning, and you can instill this in your children, and you can instill this in yourself, that having the confidence in yourself and working with others to make it a better a holistic better, not just for yourself, is going to end up in a much positive result, and you're going to feel a lot better about it as well. And another message I would tell my child is you can't change people. And one thing I learned is I couldn't change other people. I could only be in control of myself. And that is key as well. So keeping in mind that you cannot change these people, and it won't be, but you can be in control of yourself. And hopefully I can instill my knowledge to my children to be in control of themselves. So if you're feeling like you are in an environment that doesn't work for you, change it. But also don't let it get to you. My biggest thing that I learned the hard way is don't let them get to me, and keep focusing on the job at hand, and don't get caught up in it. Because if you're still can sleep at night and you can still do your job and you can still feel that way, then that is brilliant and you keep going on it. But know that you're never going to change people. You either keep going or you remove yourself, and you find yourself that's actually a more supportive environment and something that works better for you. It's not saying that it wouldn't work for some people. Some people love the challenge. And I'm sure if I speak to men, they don't have the same issue with females, and it could just be my experience. You might all be different. I'm lucky now. I have great working relationships with women, and I think it's because we are all on our own terms and we are all equals, and there is no threat. There is only community. And I think that's the difference now, to seeing it as a more of a community, a supportive community, not a threat and insecurity. And then the main messages that I would pass on, and something that I believe what makes you a stronger business owner and a stronger and a better human, really. I think to wrap this vlog up, what I'd like to leave is the message to my unborn child, and what's so important and what I would love them to know when they come out is you are the creator of your own destiny. Nobody else is. Make sure you live it with confidence and fairness, and you do unto others that you want to be done to yourself. You make sure that you are living a genuine, authentic self. You are strong, you are confident, and you are not putting anyone down, and you're not insecure, because you are your own path. Keep on your own path, follow your own dreams, and things will come. And follow your gut. I think the gut feeling is there your whole life. I feel like I fought it for so long, and I'm only now just listening to it. Listen to your gut, because it really does tell you the truth, and it tells you what's right and wrong. Ultimately, just be a good person. Just be a good person, a person you are proud of, and a person that you want to be surrounded by as well, because you are with the people that you surround yourself in. And don't march to anybody else's drum. Always march to your own drum. And I was lucky. My parents always let me be me, and Mum said even though she struggled with it sometimes, letting me have my freedom of speech, she wouldn't change a thing, because I've always been able and confident to speak my mind and back myself. So that's it. A little bit about what's happening in my life, and a little bit about a reflection on what sort of parent I want to be, and my experience in business, and how as a woman I want to be strong and empowering to my children, and make that for themselves, and make sure that they do that for themselves as well. That was my tip for the week. Tip or ramble, however you want to see it. But I think it's a nice thing to sit down and think about. What sort of person do you want to be, and what message do you want to convey to your children? If you like this video, of course, I would love you to like it and share it with friends so more people can see it. It is a branding vlog, so it's all brand centric to help businesses be strong, authentic, consistent brands. And it's so important. If you want to know more about being a consistent and authentic brand, pop over to my website, mybrandstory.me, and then it will tell you all about my brand pack. And it's a really, really good place to build an authentic business and brand that's true to you. If you want to know more, there's also a lot more information on the pack and on my website, so check it out. So I think this is quite interesting. This is quite a poignant point that I wrap up with. Stay true to your journey, because what you have to offer, nobody else does. Remember that. I'm Claire Spalding from My Brand Story, and thank you for watching, and